Hi there, welcome back to the channel. This is Natalie and this is Brave Diamonds Handmade, and today we're doing a little bit of a market prep video. That's right, a market. So I signed up for a market and it was supposed to be today. I was just going to take the inventory that I have at the store. I have a little spot in my parents' antique store where I sell my crochet plushies, and I have my own kind of little business, vendor business there. So I was just going to take that, and I have some crochet towels that I wanted to show you as well. But I also wanted to just come in, and it got canceled. So the market got canceled because of the rain. We got rained out. It is a gloomy day today. It rained all day yesterday and all day today. But the good news is that buys me another week of time so I can make a market prep video. Isn't that fun? And I can get some stuff going for it, so I'm very excited about that I can make a few more items. I went crazy buying patterns for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and I bought a lot. I don't want to tell you how much I spent. I'm not going to tell you, but it was a lot. One of the designers that I bought the most from was Madeline Mako, and so mostly what I have so far I'll go ahead and show you, but I'm working on her birds, 1101 birds. I don't know if I'm gonna make all of them, but I've made already, how many did I make? I've made five so far. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is a little budgie. It's so cute. These are really quick to work up. Little budgie in the pattern. It is green, but the bottom part is green. It's yellow and green, but I didn't have any bright green, so I just used the blue. And then I have a cockatiel. Fun fact, growing up we had a cockatiel named Sunny. She lived for about 20 years. We got her in the early 90s, and she lived for 20 years, passed away about, I want to say 2010. So she was a sweet bird. This is a little chick. And this one came out way bigger. I think I did too many rounds, but because it's just bigger than all the other ones. And then this one came out kind of smaller than all the other ones. So maybe I missed around on this one and did an extra one on this one. I don't know. Either way, they're cute. I did a mallard, and he's kind of crooked, but that's okay. I guess I was too tired to notice. And then I did the cardinal. And my son said, oh, it's an Angry Bird. So I'm like, well, I guess, yes. It's supposed to be a cardinal, but it could be an Angry Bird too. And I'll show you one of my dragons that I'm taking. This is the one by Crochet by Jenna. Her standing dragon pattern as a paid for pattern on her Etsy or her website. And if you're a patron on her Patreon, this is part of one of the patterns that you would have gotten. But anyways, go join her Patreon if you haven't. It's very good. So you guys, I have a hair sticking up here and I just don't know what to do. So hopefully it's kind of out of focus, but anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna be prepping some things. I've got this going. I bought some more patterns from Oak and Marlowe. So I'm gonna work on some other things, but this is going to be the mouse, Brie mouse. And I didn't know that Brie was because of the cheese. Brie, the kind of cheese. I didn't know that. I just saw a video where somebody said that. Anyways, I'm going to do her ears and the rest of her face and her skirt, and she'll be done. And I got some Poggy's Place patterns. I got the Critterlings, and I am going to work on, I just bought the dog and cat pattern by itself as well from the Critters. So I got the Critterlings starter pack. And then for little critters, I just got the dog and cat because I figured those were the ones that I wanted to have on hand the most. But I will be buying some more patterns from her as well. I went crazy, y'all. I got these hatching dino and dragons from Green Frog. Let's see what else. I got so many. Green Frog. I got Just a Mom Crochet. I got Sweet Beans Crochet. Some of the splooters there. Yeah, I just went crazy. So I bought a lot of patterns, so I got a lot to work with here, not to mention all the patterns I already have and all the free ones on Instagram that I saved and that are constantly being downloaded. So I have got plenty to do. So I'm going to be taking my inventory from the store, A lot of that y'all have already seen. And I'm going to be taking some towels inventory. I'm going to pause. Let me just grab it so you guys can see. I have so many of these, and I'm going to do a tutorial. So this is one of the things that I wanted to do a tutorial on, that I've mentioned that I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I just have to find time to sit down and record it. And I've never done a tutorial before, but you know, I think I can do it. And I will do it. I don't think I can do it. I know I can, and I will. All right. So here is what I'm talking about. So this is just a simple towel that you can get at Dollar General, and I just crochet with crochet thread and a very small hook, the edging. And the hooks I use have a ergonomic handle, because my hand, I have normal people hands, guys. I can't hold those little tiny hooks, but with a handle, a good handle on it, I can. And so this is very common. What's this little tail that I need to cut? But anyways, this is very common in my mom is from Brazil, so in Brazil this is a very common thing. We make towels, and there's thousands of videos on it, but I don't see hardly any in English. I've seen edgings and some similar things, but not quite like this. So anyway, so this is one of the things I'll be making, and this was really for fall, but I make them for the whole year. These ones, I get towels from Dollar General, sometimes from Dollar Tree. They used to have a lot more, but lately they've been doing those microfiber towels, and I cannot stand the way those feel, so I won't do those. But they're really, to me, I don't like them. I don't use them. I'm not gonna make them. But anyway, so here's this one with some s'mores. No, this isn't s'mores. This is the s'mores is the next one. This is like pumpkin spice and peppermint mocha and just little hot drinks, apple cider. Very cute. Here's the s'mores. It says s'mores, and this one I did two-toned. Let's see if you can see it. I'm trying to get it to focus. Anyways, it's two-tone. It's got a light brown and a darker brown. This one is really pretty. This one is a nicer towel. This is like a Hobby Lobby towel. So I got some from Hobby Lobby. And can you see the edging there? Oh, this is the same. So I have two of those. This one, and I'm just selling these for like $5, $5 to $8. Some of them a little more. This is a football one. Game on. Let's see. This one's a 2-pack. So I had this one for $14 for both of them. Oh my gosh. I have a lifesaver wrapper on it. But so there's this one. Oh my gosh, you can't see it very well. Okay. This one's cute little edging. It's got lemons and peaches, citrus on it. This is one from, and this is probably the stitch that I will be doing the tutorial on, because it's very easy. Honestly, you guys could probably look at it and replicate it, but there's a few techniques there that I want to show, and how anybody can make these. These are so fast to work up, you guys. Super fast. So this is just a simple V-stitch, and this is a Dolly Parton, one of the Dolly Parton towels that they have at Dollar General. I love Dolly Parton, so that was a no-brainer for me. And let's see, this one, it's got butterflies and flowers and mushrooms. You can make these in all different colors. I just use crochet thread that I buy, you know, Red Heart or Hobby Lobby. It's a lot of knit picks. This is just a plain one, and again, this is probably what I'm going to be showing the tutorial on. This very easy stitch, very easy to do, super fast. You can knock these out in maybe, sorry, maybe 20 minutes. So I have two of those. That's another one, the same. These ones are asking a little bit more. If the towel costs me a little bit more money, then I'll ask for a little bit more. Or if I have more detail, more rounds on the edging, then I charge a little bit more. But I just try and keep it, if I keep it simple where it's easy for me to do and the towel itself is very cheap, then I think it's a great, you know, great deal. So here's another one. This says plant kindness, grow love. I thought that was cute. I like this bright orange. edging there. And this is the last one I have here. I have tons of these guys, and more to do. This is just a little flower scene, a little meadow scene, springtime one. So I have them for like all seasons. I have Christmas ones. I have just general ones and all kind of different themes. And I just find them to be so fun to make. They're fun to do. They're quick. And it uses crochet thread and a small hook, very small hook, usually like a 1.5. And you may hear that, and we're used to doing you know, 5 to 8 millimeter hooks for these plushies, and you know, that's what we're used to working with, and it's so, those are hard enough, but sometimes for on our hands. So you may, don't be turned off by the fact that it's a 1.5 hook. I use one with a very thick handle, ergonomic handle, much like so I keep all my super tiny hooks in this little bag here. All right, this, let's see, this is a 1.4 size, and this is kind of like a hard plastic handle, but I really like it. This, to me, is very easy to maneuver with. And when I'm crocheting these hooks, with these hooks in this, these towels, I hold it differently. So I can go between, I've taught myself how to do this. I can go between the pencil grip and the knife grip. When I'm crocheting plushies, I hold a knife grip. That's how I first learned. But I find with these, it goes faster if I use these towels and this thin yarn and a crochet thread. I prefer a pencil grip, and I taught myself how to do both. It just seemed like it went faster, and so I use both. Same thing in knitting. I use English style, continental style. I go between the two. But anyways, so that's, you know, I have some super tiny steel hooks like this, but I don't like gripping this. This is a 1.65. They come in all different sizes, and I have some that have this kind of longer handle, and these are, I use some of these for plushies in the bigger sizes. This is a 2.5. I don't usually use something. This I would use for a small amigurumi, but not for, I wouldn't use that for the crochet edgings that I'm talking about. Clover, I get these from, sometimes I get them from Amazon, like the Clover set, but I've also found Temu has some good ones. So let's see here if I can find, oh yeah, this one. I got, these are actually from Hobby Lobby, believe it or not. They have a whole complete set, and they have this tiny red hook. This is a 2 millimeter as well. Actually, I prefer a 1.5. Okay, here's my favorite one. Here it is, 1.5. And it's easy. It's easy. I typically hold it like that, and I do a pencil grip. I hold it like that, kind of like, you know, and I find it to be very, I don't change the way I hold the yarn. I still hold the yarn the same way, but I just find it to be faster. I think the way it kind of flows works better for me that way, but you can use a pencil grip. You don't have to change, knife grip. You don't have to change the way you hold anything. I'm just letting you know when you see me doing my tutorial, I do switch it to that. But I don't know, am I the only one that does that? That kind of goes between both styles or both grips? I do knife grip, I do pencil grip, just depending on the project and the yarn I'm using and the hook I'm using. I found that it's a very good skill to be able to switch, so I highly recommend that. But anyways, that is it for right now, and I feel like I've talked a lot, but I will be filming a tutorial on those towels. But I'm taking some of those to the market, a lot of those to the market, and they do okay at the markets, you know. I don't think you can do a whole table with it, but they're good to have, you know, as extra stuff. So, and there is one other thing that I want to show you guys. I'm gonna run out of here and go grab it. Yeah. Okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to show you guys. Isn't that cute? This is a little frog market bag, and it's in a pouch. It's in its own pouch. And you pull it out like that. There's several tutorials. I'll link to the tutorial that I used for this. I cannot remember the name of the designer, but it was a really good, easy tutorial to follow. And look at that. You get this cute little bag that you can use. You could tuck that in. You can keep it in your purse. And now this is a very small little market bag, but she has options for bigger, but I just made the little small one, you know. Anyways, that's what I got. And I don't know if you remember, I talked about these snowmen before. I'm gonna stuff these and have these ready to go. That is from the, oh my gosh, the buddies pattern. I'll pop a picture of it here. And so I have some Grinches to do. I sold my Grinch. I sold my last Brie mouse that I made at the store. I had a penguin, the penguin that I did with the little Santa hat. I've sold that. So I've had some good sales, some good little sales here and there. I want to make some more stuff, restock a couple things. This meaty greedy, we gotta make it. At least one of those. Probably not two, because I don't think I want to have that much Christmas stuff, believe it or not. Because I think most people are not really shopping for Christmas stuff as much as they're shopping for Christmas gifts. And so we want to have stuff that they can give that's not totally Christmas oriented. It's not so much like a decoration. But, you know, have some things, because who doesn't love Grinch, right? So anyways, guys, that's it for now. And I'll check back in with you later and catch up on what I've been working on here. All right. Okay, it is the end of the day here, Saturday, November 6th, and I just popping on here. Excuse me, my eye just has to itch right now. So I'm just popping on here to show you what I've finished so far for the day, and I'll make maybe a couple more things tonight. I don't know, maybe. But I won't come back on tonight. I'll show you tomorrow. If I make anything else one way or another, I'll show you tomorrow. So let me get on. This thing makes me look so wide. I'm not that wide. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. So I did finish Brie Mouse. Look how cute she is. She is just adorable. This is such a great pattern. Okay, so I did the little eye shaping. I'm always a little kind of, I don't know, unsure about it, like how it turns out. Oh, my daughter did my nails, but we didn't use a lot of glue, so they're popping off already. These are like press-on nails. Anyways, but she came out super cute either way, and whenever the little girls come into the shop, my parents' shop, they just go crazy for this little mouse. So I want to make her in a couple more colors. Another white cream, like a tan color, a chocolate, and I have the cinder. I saw it in cinder, and it's so beautiful. Cinder, the brunette mystical color. Anyways, here she is and all her cuteness. She's beautiful. Okay. Then I was going through some of the patterns that I had just purchased, and so I made the Poggy's Place cat. This is the critters, not the critterlings, but the critters. So I made it, and she's so cute too as well. She's got, look, I keep trying to look. I used, this is the blanket yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I did not enjoy working with it, to tell you the truth. It was really a workout. Very squidgy, as they would say on Granny by Nature. Oops, I'm covering her eye. And then the eyes were tricky to find ones that looked good, but I think I managed. I wanted to always look so weird. The puff, like this puff looks like it's sticking out here more. Maybe it's because it is. I'm gonna tuck that in a little bit. Anyway, there she is. Very cute. I did the feet in like a ginger color. This is called Rust. It's kind of like a gingery color, and this is the Brunette Mystical. It's kind of a heathered black color, heathered black and gray, and I'll be using a different white next time for this. Okay, so that's that. And then I made a couple of chickens, and this one is a free chicken pattern on Instagram, and it's just called Little Chicken. And I did the comb just a little bit differently. Right here where you're supposed to do the double crochets, I ended with a little picot stitch, and that kind of gave it a little bit of a, I don't know what you call this, a pointier comb right there. But anyways, she's so cute. These eyes, since they're so little, there's no way they were going to stay in this stuffing. And I used the Bernat, again, the same that's in this cat ear, the rust color. Not Bernat. Premier Basics Chenille. Okay. Anyways, I used the rust, and the red I think is a poppy. And I used a little bit of my little orange chenille yarn just to make the beak. But I had to, oh, I was talking about the eyes. I had to hot glue them in there because there was no way I was going to get them to stay. So I need to clean up the eye. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of residue there. So one thing I don't like about hot gluing eyes is I'm kind of messy about it. So I need to find a better way to do it. But I think this is a good keychain size. This is definitely not a keychain size, but using this thicker yarn, it still worked up just as quick. I could probably charge like $10 for this thing. So I thought that's pretty good. And I could probably get away with $7 to $8 for this as a keychain. And then the last thing was maybe the cutest thing I've made. To me, I just couldn't stand it. It was so cute. And I finally got to use some of my faux fur yarn that I bought just for this exact pattern. Okay, guys. Here she is. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? I know y'all have seen this a million times, but this is the little chick. And I need to make her little egg to go with it. So Mama, I got the pattern for Mama, Mabel, and the chick. And so this is the little chick. And this worked up so fast. So fast, guys. Basically no time at all. And again, I'm going to make this in a million colors. I mean, I could really see just batch making these. I know some people don't like batch making, but I like doing it if it's super easy, if they're easy to completely finish. So I try to do batch making or do things like on an assembly line kind of thing if I'm going to make several for a market or for a sale, some kind of, for whatever process I need to make multiple of. I try and do an assembly line or batch making kind of style, which that's what I did with the dragons. And I don't know if that helped me or hurt me, but that's how I did it. Anyways, all right, so that's it for now. And like I said, I might make, none of these patterns took me very long, but it is late. It is already 10:30, and we've got church in the morning. So I don't know how much I'll make, if anything, but either way, if I do, you'll see it tomorrow. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye for now. Okay, welcome back. It is another day. It is Monday. I took the day off yesterday, Sunday, from filming, but I did still make stuff. I kind of had like a finish it all kind of day. So I finished those 3 snowmen that were sitting in a bag. I finished those, and I'll show those a little bit later. And I finished my daughter's snake. She'd been asking me that since I've been making these dragons. She keeps asking, when are you gonna finish my snake? And I'm like, I don't know. But so I said yesterday morning, I said, Ernie, I'm gonna finish your snake today. And she was very happy, and she played with it all day. It was great. And then I finished chicken, and what else? I'm trying to think. I finished my dragons. Yes. I'm gonna forget that. I just finished assembling them, sewing all the pieces together, and they are all done. And I just finished filming my last clip for that, my kind of ending clip. I have my dogs here, and my boy Rocky is here, and he is a mess. He keeps trying to get my attention. So say hi, Rocky. Say hi. I got my poodle over there, my big boy Rusty. and Blue is taking a nap. I'm working on right now the Splooting Deer, Dory the Deer pattern from Snuggle Beans Crochet. And I'm using Bernat Basics, no, why do I always say it? Premier Basics Chenille. And I'm using the color Curry because I don't have enough of the rust and the chocolate. So I got some legs. This is an ear. I did just a little bit different variation on the point of the ear, where I used a picot stitch because I didn't want to have a hole in there, but I probably didn't need to do that. And then got the legs. So, and I'm starting, where is it? Oh goodness. I'm starting on the head somewhere over here. I'm parked over here on the couch. I've got my bag of stuffing. I don't have my eyes. I'll have to go in the room for the eyes. But anyways, it's here somewhere. Oh my gosh, here it is. It's down here, guys. It's down here. Oh. Not like you can see very much. But anyways, I started the head. And I'm marking the middle there. Hopefully I did a good job marking the middle. Anyway, that's what I'm working on now. But I might take a break from that and work on some smalls. I just want to have something to show for my work today. And that's why I like making small patterns too. But anyways, that's it for now, guys. I will check back in with you guys later and update you on my progress. But that's what I am working on today. So I hope y'all are having a good day so far. And I'll see you here in a bit. Well, welcome back. It is a little bit later, the same day, but there has been a tale of woe again. All my fault. So remember how I said that I was using the color Curry for the deer? The pattern Dory the Deer by Snuggle Beans? Because I didn't have enough rust, right? Well, it turns out I wasn't paying attention. I couldn't tell the difference, and I grabbed the rust anyways and started using it, not realizing that I wasn't using the Curry. So I had 2 skeins of the Curry, which is plenty, but I didn't use it. I used rust by accident, and now I have run out. And this is my progress so far. I left a little plastic on the eyes, and I cannot move forward with this unless I just decide to go ahead and use the Curry, which it is not that far off, but it is, I think, a visible difference. I would just use it for the rest of the head and for the body. The limbs, if I had just done the head, then it would probably be okay, but the fact I've done the limbs already, I think it's noticeable, but it's not very noticeable. So there's no way I can get this yarn. I have looked on Amazon, I have looked on Walmart.com, Hirschner's, and Premier, of course. Yeah, so I don't know who else sells it. What did I do? But anyway, I don't know who else sells it besides those major retailers, and I was hoping that I could get it sooner, but I can't get anything sooner than Friday, and since that's cutting it close. I'm still gonna go ahead and place the order, but I might just go ahead. I've also considered just starting all over again. You see, I would put these sinker eyes in, and it was such a struggle to get these in that, you know, I literally had the hammer and I was swinging it down trying to get it in. I don't have one of those tools. My husband's gonna try and make me one out of a clamp, but anyway. So yeah, I put the eyes in and there's no going back here as far as this is concerned. So I would either have to totally start all over, or risk it to wait till Friday, or just use the Curry instead. I don't know if you can tell, but that is just way yellower. Now, when you look online, this looks much more red and brown, darker color than it is in real life. This is pretty true to color right now. So they are very similar, very similar. And it's really hard when they're on the shelf to tell which one is which. And I guess that's, and I thought I was paying attention, but clearly not. So yeah, I already did all the legs and everything. All the legs, the ears, and the tail. I did it all. Cause I thought, oh, let me have all the pieces ready so that way I can just crochet them in and attach them in, sew them on, and everything will be done. And I'll just do the head and the body, and then easy peasy lemon squeezy. But no, I had to go and do stuff like that. Oh well. So the project is in timeout right now until I decide. Which really, those are my choices. I don't like any of them, but it is what it is. I have to pick one. You know, if I don't have it for the market, that'll be okay. Again. But if I do, you'll see. All right, guys. I'll check you here in a little bit. It might be tonight. It might be tomorrow morning, but we'll see. All right. Hello. It is now Wednesday, so it's been a little bit since I checked in. But I've been busy. I've been working hard. Had my nose to the grind. And you know, it just always feels like you don't do enough for the time that you took. But I've been working, y'all. I've been working. All right, my hair is kind of messy. Well, we're not gonna worry about that right now. So I tested a pattern, and I think she's already put a video out about this. So I did a pattern test for Crochet by Jenna, and just in time because I love this. Y'all don't mind my mess over here. I've been working out here. I'm gonna show you a lot of stuff. But I did this pattern test, so it's gonna be another thing that I take with me to the market, and it is for a capybara. Now my family's from Brazil. This is one of our animals from the Amazon. Capybara. It's basically a giant rat, but you know, so are rabbits, so are possums, so are not raccoons, but you know, there are a lot of animals that are like that. But they're very cute and they're very laid back. And in her videos, her latest video, she was asking about the orange. Why do they have oranges on their head? And so I looked it up, and apparently in Japan, it's not an orange, it's a yuzu, something like that. And they just put it on their heads just to show how laid back they are. You can literally just put it on them, and it's something about some kind of bath that they give them, and they're just so relaxed that you could just put anything on them, and they'll just sit there. But anyways, I made him. Look at him. How cute is he? This is the sitting capybara. And let's see, he sits like that. That kind of, his little mouth is a little bit loosey-goosey there, but his orange isn't exactly centered, but I tried. Anyways, great, quick, pretty easy pattern, and you get a pretty good size plushie out of it. This was used with the Premier Basics chenille, and this was in the color chocolate and curry, and this was a Hobby Lobby yarn, also called, no, this was called coffee, but it's a Hobby Lobby blanket type yarn. It's way spongier, I feel like. Very spongy kind of yarn, but it goes with it. And this is also Premier Basics Brights in the color tangerine and emerald, I think. Is that emerald? Anyways, green. So there he is. He is cute as can be. And she's releasing this pattern, I think, on the 15th. And it will be a patron pattern. But I'm just going to have him look. Sitting right here on my lap. Oh my gosh, you can't see that. Anyways, he's on my lap. All right. So I've been wanting to make some elephants. So I made, and I told y'all I bought a lot of Madeline Mayco patterns. So I made, this is the itty bitty belly elephant. And when I see other people make it, it seems so much bigger, but this is pretty small. But she's so cute. Look at that. I still have to do the little hair. The little hairs on top of the head. But this one turned out really cute and was real easy. Almost completely no sew. The only thing we had to sew on, I think, we sewed the ears. No, we worked the ears in and sewed on the trunk. The arms we worked in, everything was worked in, and this is with some Stash Goals chenille yarn from Premier in the color light gray. And let's see, I also did her baby cow that she has, and this is in Bernat Blanket. I don't remember what the name, but it's kind of like it's almond. That's what it is, almond. And this is a mystical cinder. And then this is that same gray chenille yarn. I got some fuzzies on the back here. I thought about adding a couple spots because it kind of looks kind of plain, not very cow-like to me. I maybe should have used different colors for the hoofs. But anyways, very cute. Let's see what else I got here. Okay, that's Madeline makeup pattern as well. Let me see. Yeah, I showed y'all all the birds, so I have all those birds. I also did this little pig. It's kind of cute there. There's a set with a pig, a bee, a sheep, and a cow. And right now, like I said, her shop is having a huge sale, 75% off. So that was a good, this was like 94 cents for this pattern, and you get 4 of them, okay? Just can't beat that. All right, I made a little loaf cat kitten. And again with the cinder and this kind of almond color. Well, it really comes off more like a light gray, but it's like a tan. So cute. And a little pink bunda. All right, let's see. I made a Poggy's Place little cat. I think that turned out really cute. Well, it looks so dirty in that light, but it's not dirty. I'm looking at it like, no, it's good. It's good. Let's see what else. I made from, all from Jade, I made 2 little octopus. This one has embroidered eyes, and this one has glued eyes because the eyes were too small. I couldn't keep them secure, so I glued them in there. I kind of like the embroidered eyes. It's not bad. When they're this tiny, I don't think it's bad, and that saves a step since you're already doing a mouth. Well, I guess you don't have to do a mouth, but I feel like I like my animals to have a smile. I don't know if I showed this, but I finished this little chicken. This is also Madeline Mako, part of her birds, 11-in-1 birds. Let's see. I'm just going to show the birds again, because I don't remember if I showed them or not, but anyway, so I'm pretty sure I did. Cardinal, yeah, I remember now. Chick. This one came out. I did an extra round or something on this one. Mallard. Look how cute. Cockatiel. That one's adorable. Let's see. And a little budgie. And I had bald eagle, but my mom has already purchased that. And let's see what else. I have also from Just Mom Crocheting, she had a little tiny Dumbo octopus pattern. I think it might be a free pattern on Instagram, but I bought it anyways. I could be wrong about that. Anyways, look, I did that one. I actually struggled a little bit, I think because I was tired. This is with Dollar Tree chenille yarn. Okay. Let's see, I showed you the octopus. I had 3 snowmen, but my mom also got one of those. So there, this one didn't have bobbles on the feet. They're supposed to have bobbles, but I didn't do that. Let's see, I did this little elephant is from, again, with the Dollar Tree chenille yarn. Look how small it turns out with that. I'm gonna try it again in a thicker yarn, like a blanket yarn or this Brights yarn. But it's so cute. Look at that. That was good. This is from Nooks Hooks, and I glued the eyes on it. You can see there's some residue. I don't know how I'm gonna get that off of there, but I'm gonna try. And I try to do the Poggy's Place Critterlings cat, but I messed up on the ears, and then I took the ears out and I realized I totally messed up. This right here is supposed to be the mouth area, and it's right where the paws are. I don't know if you can see that, but see, this is a paw, And this is, these are 2 puff stitches. And it's totally in the wrong place. I don't know what I was doing there, but clearly I wasn't counting right. Okay, and the last thing I have to show you that I finished so far is, well, I'm almost done. I still have to do her little white spots on there, but this is Dory. The nose, I didn't do such a good job, but I don't think it looks bad with a little bit. It almost looks like shine. But anyways. In this one, we had a bit of a woe. As I mentioned before, I decided to go ahead with the curry, but I had started it in the rust color. So the legs are in rust. The head is mostly in rust. The ears, the tail, but the body, if you can see, it's a different color. It's the, oh my gosh, I just said it. It's this curry. So it's very similar though, so it doesn't come off as that noticeable. So I think in the end, it's totally fine. But anyways, I left the plastic on the eyes for now until I get to the place. But it came out so cute. So I'm gonna work on some more things. I'm gonna work on some chicks and eggs and Mabel chickens. I have a lot of the curry left. I thought I would use it all up between these 2 larger patterns, but thankfully I still have a lot. I'm gonna make some cats with it. I'm gonna make some chickens, maybe another smaller capybara pattern. We'll see. But we'll see what I get into, but that is it for this check-in, and I'll catch you on the next one. I've got my nose to the grind now. I'm wearing my wrist brace every night. It's a lot, but it's fun. It is a lot of fun. All right, so I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, so it is Friday night, and I am finishing up here. I just want to jump on here real quick and show you the things that I have finished. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I don't remember. So here is the Madeline Made Co. Itty Bitty Belly Elephant. Ooh, guys, forgive me. The Splooting Deer. Let's see that one. I gotta add her little white freckles. Let's see. Capybara with the orange on the head. Cute. I've got 7 dragons. I'll just show you one. Orange. Orange, you glad I showed you my cute pets? Oh, the name is to get alive. That's me. That someone's me. Okay, I made 2 itty bitty demogorgons. Let me fix their faces a little bit. Cute, cute, cute. Ooh. I made a lot of chickens. I made 10 Mabel chickens. Now this is a black one. I made 2 of these gray ones. This is gray. This is not white. It looks white here in the camera, but it's really gray, light gray. This is my white chicken. And let's see. And I made a little orange, not orange, but kind of red, kind of like a buff or red Rhode Island, not Rhode Island red, but I don't know. Oh. I also made little chicks to go with them. And I made some eggs. I couldn't do all eggs for everybody. So some have eggs. I might take some white yarn and make some eggs while I'm there. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, I have little blue chickens. Cute. I was playing around with the face positioning, and I kind of like it here where the eyes are right next to the beak. I kind of like that better. Look how. Y'all, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Oh, and I did yellow chicks to go with the white chickens. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. Because to me, all white chickens, their chicks are yellow. Not white. So I wanted, but I didn't do yellow chickens. I did white chickens. I wanted to use the yellow yarn. That's it. That's it for now. So I hope I showed you everything. I think I did, but I'm going to get to work here, finish this, maybe go get some coffee. I know it's late, but I'm one of those people that I can drink coffee and go straight to bed. It does not affect me that much, although I will try to have a lighter cup. But yeah, I need to be up for a little while, so I need it to do that for me. I want to do that. You know, you could do like a tally of how many times I yawn in this video because I'm exhausted, but the market starts bright and early tomorrow. So anyways, that's it. Thank you for hanging out with me this week. Thank you for watching. I hope that you leave a comment, like and subscribe. Subscribing, leaving a comment, liking, all that is so helpful, guys. It really helps my channel. I do want to grow here. I want to build a little community, and I think we're already off to a decent little start here. But let's keep it up, and you know, share this video if you think somebody would like to see some lady in Georgia crocheting plushies for a week. If you think somebody would like to see that, send them, maybe share my video. But anyways, all that is helpful. But thank you either way, even if you don't do all that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that it's been entertaining in the least. Good morning. It is Saturday morning, market day. We stayed up till about 12:30 last night, inventorying all our items, getting everything ready, and logged into Square and all that, because I hadn't done any of that yet, so I wanted to make sure it was done before we went in. And I like Square for that. It's my husband walking by. But we're running a little bit behind, unfortunately, but it's literally like 5 minutes at most away from my house, which is another reason why I decided to sign up for this event, because it's very close. So everything's loaded up. We're gonna go, and I've got help, so we're gonna get it all set up, and I will try and take some pictures and little footage for you guys. So stay tuned. But anyways, see you in a minute. Pretty good day so far. I've sold some things and I'm very happy. I sold my deer. Finally got her spots on her and she sold right away. And I've got a pretty decent day so far, I think, considering it's my first market in a while. And it's not crazy busy here, but it's a little bit steady. We got about an hour left, and I'll check back in with you guys with the recap. All right, so it is after the market now. It's been a few hours once we got back. I was so tired. We just got everything here in the office, threw it on the ground, and I just went to bed and crashed. And I took a good nap. I was up so late last night and up so early today, and it's just been a lot. So I really needed that nap, let me tell you. But it was a pretty good market. We were, my words together, we were received very well. I was the only one with plushies there, so that was helpful. It was a small market. It wasn't very big, but I think we did really good. And considering it's my first market, I did better than I did last time when I was there. It's my first market as a plushie maker. So I think we did pretty good. I was very happy with the results, and it was definitely worth my time. So I'll be doing it again next year, and hopefully get some more under my belt before next year's event. So I just want to quickly go over the numbers and tell you what sold and what didn't sell. First, off the bat, this is a community where there's a lot of Mennonites and a lot of farmers and rural blue collar kind of people. So what I learned was that farm related plushies, like farm animals, those did really well. Cutesy kind of things did really well. The kids loved the little things. Of course, always want to make sure we have lots of little lower priced items. What didn't sell, I didn't sell not one dragon, but that's okay. My kids were happy to go ahead and pick out their dragons out of the 7, and I still have 5 to sell, but I just don't think it was a very dragon market. The other thing that didn't sell were the demogorgons that I made. I only made 2 anyways, but they didn't sell. A lot of people looked at them and were excited, but they didn't sell. The other thing that I was surprised didn't sell was my possum, my sitting possum. Now that one is for $35. I think if I had smaller ones at a smaller price point, they would have sold. So I will definitely make sure to have some smaller versions next time, and I might bring the price down to like $30, maybe even $28, to keep it in the 20s. I think sometimes if you can get close to 30 but still be in the 20s, you know, kind of just stay under that number a couple dollars. If that makes a difference of getting it sold, it's worth it. That to me is something that, you know, a lot of retailers will do that, pull that, but it really does make a difference sometimes with people's minds and their spending. So I learned some good stuff, some good lessons from this market and from the crowd that we had today. It was a really nice event, and the weather was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. The wind did start kicking in a little bit towards the end of the day. It went from 8:30 to 2:30. I thought it was 8:30 to 12:30, but I was mistaken. So around 12:30, I'm like, how come nobody's packing up? And there's still people coming. I'm not leaving yet, you know, because people were still pulling up. And so I was thinking, gosh, you know, I guess we'll all just stay here until the customers kind of thin out more. But I didn't realize that it was till 2:30. I just misread it. So I really got to pay attention more. But it clearly said till 2:30, so that was my mistake. And I think I was just so tired that I read it wrong. Anyway, so let's get into what did sell. My best seller by far were the Mabel chickens. So I made 10 medium size, not the mama Mabel, but the regular Mabel chickens. And I made 10 of the little chicks. So I tried to make 2, I had 5 colors, 2 of each color. I had 2 gold colors, 2 black, 2 blue, 2 gray, and 2 white. And then for the chicks, I did all those colors as well. I did 2 of each, except for instead of white, I did yellow. And I had a few eggs. So, and it was pretty mixed between people that wanted chicks without eggs and some wanted the chicks with the eggs. I'm glad I didn't make more eggs. I ended up having only like 3 or 4 eggs, and so I didn't sell out of the chicks or the chickens, but I did sell a lot of them. Another good seller was the axolotls. Those sold really well. What was another one? The octopus, people loved. Nobody took the little bitty octopus, but they did like the jelly bean kind and the drift. So those did okay. And let me see here. I did sell my splooting reindeer, the Dory deer. I sold my sitting reindeer from Crochet by Jenna. Those sold. I sold a Grinch that I had. That was at the very end. I thought I was gonna pack it up, but I ended up selling that one. So I think, I want to say, did I sell both I only had 2 Grinches there, a medium size, like that size, and that was, whose pattern was that? So I couldn't find that pattern, but I will put a picture of it here. That's the Grinch that I sold. And so yeah, that was good. The splooter was a hit. I think I'll be making some more of those. I think it would have been good if I had some Highland cow patterns and that kind of stuff, but next time I definitely intend to have a lot more inventory to offer. So let's see here. I had more cash sales today than I had card sales. So that was good. The effort that I put in last night to plug everything into Square as inventory really paid off, because it made my life so much easier today. So I highly recommend that. Having everything be logged in so that you can keep track, and I was able to just look for the item and select that, and I was able to tell when I was sold out and I didn't have any more. So it was really great. So I'm just gonna look here on the screen. If you don't mind, I have my computer right here. I'm just looking at it. Okay, so I had a total of 19 transactions. Average sale was $20.27. I did have several multiple item sales, so that was nice. Okay, so total collected was $416, and my net sales was $385.20. I programmed it so that the taxes would be included in the total amount, so it will be deducted from there. I didn't have to charge people odd numbers and give them coin change. So I really like that Square gives you that option to do it. I just roll it into the price there. Okay, let's see. So my first sale came at $8:45. We were still setting up, kind of, but we had a nice gentleman come. And even though the event started at 8:30, we were still doing little things here and there, and there really weren't any customers there just yet. It was a mini snowman and a mini Mabel chick with the egg. So that was a nice little start. Let's see, then Dory deer was sold at $9.19. Okay, for $40. Let me put my glasses on so that I can see better. All right, and then my mini elephant. The mini elephant was a Madeline Maidco pattern, and that was really popular. I had a young girl who I'm saying young, but she's probably like 16. She just was crazy about it, and then there was another lady that was also crazy about it, and they both had their eye on it, but the young girl she came back and got it. And then the older lady, again, I say older, but she's older than the girl. She's not really older. She's probably in her late 30s or early 40s. She came and she's like, "Oh, where's the elephant?" I said, "Oh, yeah, it's sold." She's like, "Oh, no." And so, note to self, the elephants were really popular. The one elephant that I had was good. So I think I'll make more and have more next time. Then let's see, at 10:13, I sold a mini turtle. I remember that kid was so excited. He loves turtles, he said. He was so excited, that one little turtle. An axolotl and a Mabel chicken, one of the black Mabel chickens, that sold for $25 total. Then at 10:26, I had another sale, a chubby penguin, a small white loaf cat, and a small leggy frog. That was a total transaction for $30. Then at 10:45, I sold a jelly bean octopus for $12. Then at 11:02, I sold an axolotl 2 of them, and one of the chubby bird penguins. That's another Madeline Mako pattern, and the 11 in 1 bird pattern. So there's a chicken. And I sold a small Yeti. There's one of the free Instagram patterns that I had made. I've done a video on that. 1108, I sold just a leggy frog by itself for $8. Oh, the prior transaction with the 2 axolotls and the chubby bird and the small Yeti, that was $34 transaction. Then at 1127, I sold another jelly bean octopus for $12. Then at 1129, I sold the sitting reindeer. That's kind of like Rudolph, and a small leggy frog, and that total was $40. At 1139, I sold a crocheted edge dish towel, which is the only dish towel sale, although I had lots of dish towels everywhere. I think it helped just to make the space look fuller and have more items. And there were definitely a lot of lookers for the dish towels, but not a lot of takers. But I do sell them at my parents' store. I tend to sell that just about as often as I do the plushies. So I sell maybe not that much, but maybe like 2 or 3 a week. So I think they have a good. It's just not a lot of people know about them or are into it here, but it's becoming a little more popular. It's moving a little more as time goes on. So then at 1144, I sold a Mabel chicken, another one. I sold 2 Mabel chickens, 1 white and 1 black, and 2 of the mini Mabel chicks. Okay, that total was $39. I think that was everything. Yeah. Okay. And let's see here. Then at 1157. Okay, get out of there. Oh, here. At 1157, I sold another chubby bird from the Madeline Mako patterns, and that was the mallard. I sold that for $10. Then at 12 noon, I sold a chick with an egg, a mini chick with an egg. At 12:08, I sold 2 of the mini Mabel chicks by themselves, and I sold another Mabel chicken with a blue and a gold Mabel chicken. I remember that lady she was nice. Then at 12:14, I sold a mini loaf cat. I didn't even hear my dog come in here. Another Mabel chicken in light gray, and a mini cow, another Madeline Mako pattern. The mini cow that I did end up embroidering spots, but I didn't take a picture of how it looked after it. So that did work out for me. Then at 1:30, I sold a mini stingray for $8. Oh, I didn't say the other prices. One was $34, one was $35. And then the stingray was $8. And then at 1:57, right towards the end, I sold the medium Grinch for $25. And that was it. After that, we were ready to go because the wind had been picking up by that point, and we were just tired, honestly. So the total, like I said, 19 transactions, total $416 that we collected, and net sales after fees of $385, and then take $25 out of that for the table fee that I had to pay, and it was $360.20. So not bad for a day's work, and it was not that busy for us. We did have a few moments, as you could tell, of activity, but for the most part, it was just a very nice day. The weather was beautiful. It's going to get really cold, so after today, it's going to be cold and rainy again. So I think it landed the perfect day. It was sunny. It was not cold, but not hot. There was beautiful blue skies, and it wasn't windy until towards the end of the day, like I'd say around 12:30, 1 o'clock, it started to pick up a little bit, and then around 1:30 it was starting to get a little bit hairy over there. People's tents started to fail a little bit. Even our tent that our canopy, the canopy part flew off. Apparently we hadn't secured them well enough, so we had to fix that. But anyways, let me take this off. I can't stand the ring light glare. But anyway, it was a good day. I'm really happy considering that it was a last minute add-on kind of thing. I know it's not anything crazy that you might see some of these sellers that are easily pulling $1,000, $2,000, or sometimes even more than that, but I'm very happy with this. So last time I did this market, I made like $100 something, and I was happy with that. So now I'm pretty happy with this. This is a lot better than I did last time, and I think I learned a lot, and I'm definitely going to take the lessons learned and take it on to the next market. But we're not even going to have anything probably in our area until springtime. But I'll look around and see if there's anything nearby coming up, maybe in January or February. But we're going to take a little bit of a break from that and just kind of crochet what we want. I did get one order for a crochet cowl, so I'm going to do that. And of course my mom has given me some towels that she wants me to do the edgings, and I have another lady that wants me to do some edgings on towels. And then I have one other, I think a pillowcase somebody wants me to do. So I got a little bit of work that I can do for that. And of course I have my regular job too. So I work from home. I do marketing for my parents' store, and that's a separate gig. I have a little marketing agency that I do on the side. So I have that to do as well, but I'm going to take it a little bit easy on the crochet stuff for right now, and just kind of have more fun with that, make some things that I want to make, try out some different patterns, and just relax a little bit in that space. But I've got a lot of editing to do. I've got a lot of videos to put out. So that's what I'm going to be kind of pouring myself into for this next week, trying to get through all my clips and upload videos and schedule stuff. So look for that. Hopefully there will be a lot of content that you guys can watch over your Christmas break, which I hope you guys enjoy very much. So I hope you enjoyed this little first and last market of the year for 2025. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend and a great time and getting ready for Christmas, getting your gifts and all that. And more than anything, I just want us to all sit back and take the time to reflect on what the season actually means. So the point of this season is really not even about crochet and plushies and gifts and presents and all of that. It's really about the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who, you know, has been so faithful to me and to you too. So that is something that I want to spend more time reflecting on and being grateful for and thankful for. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. And as always, God bless.
Silent night, the stars so bright, angels singing, skies tonight. Stables cold but hearts aglow, Jesus born in humble show. Shepherds came from fields afar, followed by the guiding star. Wise men bring the gifts of gold, stories of his birth retold. Jesus was born on this holy day, hope and joy came our way. In a manger loved and appear, Jesus was born, Christmas is here.